Welcome back to our continuing coverage of the Victor Korea Open. Two more finals to bring you, and as you can see, officials and line judges in position as we await the entrance of the women's doubles finalists. The top two seeds, as you can see from Japan, FUKUSHIMA.
이 경기의 선수를 소개합니다. 일본의 후쿠시마 사야카 요토, 일본의 미사키 마츠모토, 아야카 타카하시. London University players, Yuki Fukushima, Sayaka Hirota, Japan. Misaki Matsutomo, Ayaka Takahashi, Japan. 선수 입장, London players.
So here come the women's doubles finalists. Another Japan scenario. The men's final was extremely entertaining. So let's hope for more of the same here. FUKUSHIMA HIROTA lead in the head-to-head, as you saw there. FUKUSHIMA, part of this top-ranked women's doubles partnership. Won World Championship silver for the last 2 years. 3 titles in 2018, the one in Japan, Indonesia, Germany. There's Hirota, part of the Eva Cup winning team in Bangkok this year. Lost in the final of the All England Open. And they've won 9 tournaments in their 4 years together, and not a single game dropped so far en route to the final, as you can see there. And their opponents, who obviously they'll know pretty well, MATSUTOMO. Ranked second in the world, have been #1 before. She was actually once a singles finalist in the World Juniors way back 8 years ago. Also won the Olympics together in Rio. And they've won in Indonesia, Malaysia and China last week in 2018. As we look at Ryuka Takahashi. Silver at the last two Asian Games, been together for 9 years. Just the one game dropped in the opening round against Che and Kim. Other than that, straight game. So something has to give. In the chair for this one, Stéphane Vallet of France, and the service judge Kim Hyun-yup from the home nation Korea. I think this is a pretty hard one to call, Steen. I mean, first and second seeds, first and second in the world. Yes, there's slight advantage to Fukushima and Hirota on the head-to-head, but not massively so.
No, and I think again, Hirota and Fukushima chose not to choose which side they wanted to play on. They left that to Takahashi and Matsutomo, and they chose to start on the far side of the court. So that gives them, in my opinion, a little advantage. So I think it's a 50-50 match, so to speak. Really, really tough to call.
Ladies and gentlemen, on our right, MATSUTOMO, TAKAHASI, Japan. And on my left, FUKUSHIMA, HIROTA, Japan. FUKUSHIMA serve to Takahashi. Level.
So here we go, women's doubles final. Fukushima serving. Perfectly into the vacant space. Lovely shot from Takahashi. And again.
It's the winners of the last two tournaments that are playing each other. Matsutomo Takahashi won in China, and of course Hirota Fukushima on home soil.
Well, they needed that point just to stop the rot a little bit.
2-5.
No Asian Games title to any of them. It was won by Chen Qingchen and Jia Yifan. Who first beat Hirota and Fukushima in the semi-final, and then Matsutomo and Takahashi in the final. But apart from that, they've been dominant. The Japanese pairings got a third pair as world champion, Takahara and Matsumoto, and it's already clear that Matsutomo and Takahashi will go to #1 on the race to Guangzhou list, and Fukushima and HIROTA will go to number 2. Good shot from Takahashi.
What an angle. Great piece of deception, because she wasn't that far away from the net. She couldn't get
a
it.
racket on it.
Yeah. HIROTA unable to cope with that, so an early advantage here for the number 2 seeds. Comfortably in that one.
3-6.
Wow, that's really careless. Over 1.15 meters. That's the service judge who called it. There you go. Looks through those little implements he saw in front of him there. There were 2 black lines. It tells him whether the serve's too high or not. And he clearly thought on that occasion that it was.
And he looks through it, and the 2 black lines should become one, so he makes sure that his eyesight is exactly at 115 centimeters of height. The whole shuttle should be below 115 centimeters when struck. Otherwise, it's a service fault.
And once you've been called, obviously, it starts to sow a few seeds of doubt in your mind. Concentrate on making sure you don't do it again, and that can affect the serve itself.
That depends how you think. That depends a lot on how you think, because I haven't seen a match here where more than 3 service faults have been called. And so from a player perspective, unless you get called much more than 3-4 times a match, you shouldn't worry at all. You should just continue, go on with your business as usual. Because if you don't get called, there's a good chance that you're actually lying too low and give yourself a disadvantage compared to the other players.
Well, quite a few lengthy rallies already in the early stages of this match.
She's been serving quite well up until now, Matsutomo, and she's known to have problems with her services. It's a really good start for the Olympic champions. Wide. Shouldn't have taken that one, FUKUSHIMA. From the body language, it seems like Takahashi and Matsutomo, they have an advantage today. HIROTA and FUKUSHIMA, they don't come across as full of energy and wanting to play a long match.
Well, it's not going to be a long match at the moment if it carries on like this.
Takahashi just gave a little look to MATSUTOMO. What are you doing? Completely sold me out.
It seems like Hirota and Fukushima have to work so hard to win a point.
Yeah, normally they don't mind to do that, but I wonder if it's too much today.
Well, that's two errors on serve that mean Matsumoto and Takahashi well in control until they lead 11-5. So can they find a way to get back into this world number one pairing? Not like that.
Great play by MATSUTOMO at the net.
Yeah, she's like a little jack in the box. She's moving all the time.
Yeah, it seems so easy when she moves.
That's on the line, but it's going to be challenged. I thought initially it looked maybe wide, but Hawkeye will tell us. She was pretty close to that, Hirota, so I imagine this will be a close-ish call. Yeah.
It just shows that as a player, when you're playing on a court that doesn't have Hawkeye, you've got to be prepared to suck up some wrong line calls.
And you know, the line judges are human, and we saw how close that was. The
Yes.
shuttle's going at whatever speed. It's not easy. You're going to get errors.
Terribly difficult. It's like they can't get enough advantage in the attack, Fukushima and Hirota. I know they scored a point here, but it's difficult for them to work their way to a better position.
Well, they certainly can't get. They haven't got a run of points together, have they? At any stage of this match?
No. I feel Hirota looks wrong. Looks different than she normally does. Normally she is extremely hardworking, and here it seems like it's really draining and tough work, which it of course is.
Dropped in.
Good defense there.
Well, a couple of points, 2 or 3 points here.
Yeah, then they will be back in it.
Just might galvanise Fukushima and Hirota. Doesn't look like happening, but
almost power on the attack from Takahashi. The first service error, I think, from Matsutomo today. He's been struggling with a low serve on and off for more than 2 years.
Chastised herself, Fukushima, for playing that shot. Knew she was in trouble as soon as she hit it. Playing to their strengths again.
17-10.
She's struggling, Hirota. She's definitely struggling today.
Once again, excellent work at the net from Matsutomo. Didn't really have to move, did she? It was straight at her. So 9 game points for the number 2 seeds. And that'll do it for them in just 17 minutes. I have to say, I thought it might be closer than that. 21-11.
Yeah. It's very surprising. It's very surprising that it's not closer, and even more surprising that Takahashi Matsutomo wins on the far side of the court. Takahashi had an easy time killing her, setting up Matsutomo, either killing it herself in the attack or setting up Matsutomo.
Second game, double. Play.
Our last two finals have gone to deciding games. See whether world number ones can come up with some kind of a revival here.
Say that the Olympic champions are the favourites playing this near side of the court. The thing that should possibly be able to upset them is that if HIROTA and FUKUSHIMA can get better length on their defense, so it's not so easy for Takahashi to set herself or her partner up, then there would be a chance. They would have to work extremely hard in their own defense, I suspect.
Another example of FUKUSHIMA and HIROTA working so hard just to get a point on the board, put it back level. There've just been too many errors from them, and the majority of the winners have come on the other side of the net so far.
Best front court player on the court, Misaki Matsutomo. Of course, to even things out, she's not as strong as the other three on the back court. And that was strong enough.
Well, the second game started in a similar fashion to the first, namely HIROTA and FUKUSHIMA on the end of a bit of a barrage, and there's another service fault called for height, which is with a bonus for the top seeds. So that's one each now. See the odd match where players have got upset without being called for that, but just accepted it in good grace in this final. Not going to change the service judge's decision.
Looking at court. Couldn't see it. It was unreturnable.
It's another unforced error.
6-5.
And they add up.
Powerful smashes from Takahashi. Sister was in this tournament as well. Sayaka in the women's single. Lost in the quarterfinal to Sung Ji-hyun.
It was good.
8-6.
They almost drifted back in.
7-8.
Defense from Matsutomo. Excellent. She's not the preferred net player, Yuki Fukushima, but she definitely can play at the net.
That's not going to impress her, and for the first time she just asked a little question of the umpire.
So the only one not called now is Matsutomo.
It's Kim Hyun-yuk from Korea in the service judge's chair. Never going to get any change out the umpire because he doesn't have the little gizmo that allows an official to check the height of the serve. And he's always going to support the service judge, and so he should.
Stays in.
Right on the line. So 11-9 it is. And the number 2 seeds, having taken the first game, in charge in the second as well. So effectively 10 points away from another title. Matsutomo and Takahashi in their 4th this year if they achieve that feat. And of course it'll be back-to-back titles as well after they won in China last week in Changzhou.
It's already given that the pair that wins here will go to the top of the money list, and the losers will go to number 2. Save. Well, there's signs that it doesn't mean so much as to how hard you hit it from this near side of the court. It means a lot more than that the opponents can play the defense without having to be careful not to play it too long. Play the lifts, also important. Even more important to get the right length on the lifts.
Well, an apology for a bit of help from the net. So FUKUSHIMA will certainly take it.
Yeah.
Back on terms now, the second game. Just feels like 2 steps forward and 1 back. Just as they get a bit of momentum. It's just wrestled away from them somehow, or they do it to themselves in that instance.
They're struggling. They're struggling, FUKUSHIMA and HIROTA. They're trying to stay in it, and if they succeed in more or less stealing this second game, then everything could change.
Yeah, that was never coming back.
Service order 14-15.
Well, a bit clumsy that. Just keeps Fukushima and Hirota more than a little interested. 14-15. And it might well be a steal if they do win this game, Steen, as you said, but you wouldn't put it past them to do it. And then,
No,
as you mentioned, that
not.
things change in the match.
It's a good defense. Fukushima.
Well, it was a question of who would blink first there.
It was well worked by Ayaka Takahashi. Relentless. But look how close she is to the net before she can sort of create something that's playable for her partner.
What an anticlimax that was.
It's the second service error for MATSUTOMO and the third for the pair. As far as I counted it. Oh, the racket's gone.
She's very
changed it.
quickly, done very well. Well, patience is a virtue. We got there in the end.
17-16.
So can they seal the deal here? MATSUTOMO and Takahashi. That'll help the cause.
18-16.
That's beautifully placed. Just angled it onto the tram line there, and no way it could be reached. Lovely shot from Hirota. That would have gone wide, surely.
That one's well.
Just keeping their noses ahead and only 2 points away now from securing this title. And much better from Fukushima and Hirota in the second game, but might well be to no avail in a couple of minutes' time.
And only 2 of the women's doubles finals on the World Tour of Super 500 or higher, Super 750 and Super 1000 have gone to 3 games.
Well, this one still might.
HSBC 19.
Clinical by Matsutomo.
Well, at the body is always a good tactic, and here are 2 championship points for the number 2 seeds. Well, a little bit of good fortune at the end, but overall, they were good value for the victory. It took just 40 minutes, and Misaki Matsutomo and Ayaka Takahashi took down the number 1 seeds and number 1 ranked women's doubles pair, Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota, 21-11, 21-18. Looking at this final point again, that was the net call that won it for them. A little bit harsh, I guess, on the world number 1 pair, but nothing you can do. It's just part of the game. It always feels more unfortunate when it comes on match point or championship point in this case. So the officials and players will come off here, and then they'll come back very shortly once we've had the on-site presentation through the crowd from the 2 host presenters here.
Ladies and gentlemen, now we may have the awards ceremony for the women's double match. Presenting the word will be Madam Ambassador, Mr. Tuhi, Chairman of Victor Korea. Chuck, Mr. Tuhi, Chairman of Technical Committee of the Korea Association of Women Office with presenting the words.
입사 선수 입장.
Welcome players.
So here comes the presentation party, which will have the 4 players back of it. You do things in such a wonderfully ordered way, Maria. Those soft toys on a velvet blanket on a tray. No shortage of press photographers here either. So Yuki Fukushima and Sayaka Hirota will accept their silver medals. And a check for just shy of $23,000. And the rabbit. Fourth title of the season for Matsutomo and Takahashi. Two of them have been Super 1000 events as well. So they're going to be one of the really big players at the end of season finals in Guangzhou. Four women who know each other very, very well. There's two women's doubles players in the world on current rankings. Well, it seems to have gone very quickly today. We've had 4 of the 5 finals, just 1 to go. So if you stay with us so far, we're not going to go anywhere because it's the mixed doubles showpiece next. He Jiting and Du Yue of China against Matthias Christiansen and Christina Pedersen of Denmark. That's coming up in just a moment.